Joy tactics.
I'm looking more and more like Jack Black. Okay.
No.
Yeah.
You mean in the
I am,
sense,
because I just sat
in
and
the sense that you're like wearing more plaid, or you're
No, I think Jack Black is sexy, and I don't mind looking more and more like him. But I'm sitting. This is a way that Jack Black would sit.
Well,
endearing.
Don't you see it?
Jack Black has let go. Let's just be honest. He let go.
But he deserves to let go because he's one of the highest
Exactly.
I don't
grossing
think
movie
he's let
stars of
go.
all. I mean, he's let go.
To me, he looks as good as he always does.
He has just, you know what? Hollywood doesn't allow people to age. If this was just a regular,
I know.
he was working in IT, you'd be like, oh, Jack Black, like, awesome, good to see you. Nice shorts, you know. I like your little hat that you're wearing. You're so funny and kind of strange. But Hollywood, we look at aging people as dead in the dirt. As you age, you better have something. You better be a genius if you age.
Well,
know
you
what I'm
can't
saying?
think about your age tied to yourself as a human. Like, everything ages, not as itself, but everything in the universe ages together. Technology ages as we move up through the years of humanity. We say technology develops. We get new inventions, this and that. Every human being is reinvented as life moves through its phases. Right?
Interesting.
Right.
So instead of seeing Jack Black as this washed up,
He's not washed up.
whatever,
I never said that.
We never said that,
like,
and don't.
loser,
And you said that.
all that.
And guess what? He might be on the podcast one day, and what we did was just fucked our chances to ever have Jack Black on the podcast. So great job, guys.
Can I push back?
Please.
I think that these are the human moments that people want to see on podcasts.
Yes.
They want to see the arguments. They want to see Jack Black get into it, and maybe I'm wrong.
I'm thinking that you just blacklisted us. There was an opportunity where we are in Jumanji 17, and they're gonna go. The producers are gonna go back, and they're gonna have the technology to search into the Chat GPT thing. Did Jack Benzier ever talk shit about Jack Black? Pull up this podcast. He's washed up playing that clip. Done out.
And here's
That's
where
gonna be you.
And then they're gonna pull up my clip of me defending him, and then I'm gonna get fucking casted in your
Same.
fucking part. So, hi.
You want to know why I'm
Money
laughing
in
like
my
an evil
pockets.
villain right now?
Why?
Because I'm so far ahead of the game, it's crazy. You guys want to know why?
How so? I'm very
Why?
curious
You
about
fools, you rats.
Why?
So you're waiting to be cast in Jumanji 17, right?
this. Right.
Well, let's just say the day before it comes out in theaters, I'm going to release my own Jumanji 17. 18!
No.
That's right. I'm going to put out the next 2 Jumanjis already that I made.
Oh my god.
Because technology is going to be so advanced at that point. I dare you to try and blacklist me, because guess what?
I
When
could
you
blacklist
shut
in
off a clean
second.
water supply, that water is going to go through to another town.
I think that
I don't know what I just said.
I'm jealous
we
of the
need
way
to
your
stop
mind
it with
works.
No, I got to go to bed.
These sequels need like unique names, not numbers. Do not instead of Jumanji 17.
Jumanji.
It should be. It
James
should be
Elvis.
James Elvis. Yeah, that.
Jack. Yeah, that should be.
Name's Elvis.
You just said name.
Could you imagine what just happened?
We are not in a good way right now. I would say that. Not kidding, because we just took a break, right? We took an hour break for something, and we were all in the worst, most sourest moods. And I was saying I hate being alive right now, not in a scary way.
You went
but
into the darkest.
and
depths
Jack
of
is
your
tired
mind.
as hell, and so but we are crawling out of the depths right now to try to
Nate's good,
provide
though.
some
No,
amazing
I'm doing
entertainment.
fine.
You're fresh.
I'm
You're always
amazing.
good.
I'm always good. I'm
but
always
you never
even
go
keeled.
as high as I climb. You know what I mean? I might fall a lot deeper than you go, but my dopamine hits spikes that you've never heard about.
Most of your life may be like just in this low kind of state, but like I will never get to those like tiny, those
right.
like 3 second.
No, but they're
peaks
not
to
3
that.
seconds. They're 3 hours. Oh, and my idea for the Jumanji movie, what it's called before you said James Elvis. And this is people are gonna like this name a lot better. Jumanji, the jungle.
That's it.
Jumanji the jungle.
All right, let's get some votes in the chat. Do you want to see Jumanji?
Yeah.
Jumanji, the jungle,
or
or
James
Jumanji,
Elvis.
James Elvis.
Has-
That is
the movie has nothing. There's no one named James Elvis in the movie. It's just
It's the
called
name
that.
of the movie. That's
And
because you
people
said you
have
didn't
to-
want numbers anymore. You want names. So I
Right.
could hit you with 2 of them. All right, so here's the deal.
James
We're in
Elvis
Chicago.
sounds
and
like a name of that someone would write. about what they think Americans are, and they live in a village somewhere far away from humanity, from like civilization.
You should host a roast.
Can somebody promise us? Somebody promise us out there to name their child James Elvis. Like it doesn't have to be. It could be like a middle name type of thing.
And you can adopt the kid and then just give him right back.
Right.
So you could do that. Name a kid
people don't
and then
know
just
that.
Ghost them.
Right, that happens a lot.
It is
more
fun.
than you think.
I feel like it's funny that we were like,
Owen Wilson needs to be held accountable right now for abandoning his child.
Did he really?
Where did that come from? Oh, he did that?
I have no idea if he did. But I read it on some
Do you know that there's a darkness within him?
Yeah, it was in...
the media does not focus on this at all. We just see I got a crooked nose guy. You know, like we just see that dude who's
crooked.
Yeah, he's got a crooked nose.
He's a cricket nose.
But we don't know the dark terrors that are behind Owen Wilson.
I've known for years. If you don't know, it's because you don't want to know, and you think that celebrities are playthings and pawns on a chessboard. But really, they have feelings, and really, whatever comes out about them is just all false. And
Suicide
it's
hotline.
PR companies trying to make money out of them, making magazine sales and ad sales. You are being played if you think any celebrity has done anything wrong ever.
I have a fucked up question. Is there only one suicide hotline number? Do they have a monopoly? Should there not be a second number you can call?
There's one that you know about, but celebrities have a special line
that tells them about the island they can go to.
And we're not going to go into Epstein, but we know some things. We're friends with Brace Belden from TrueAnon.
Oh my God.
He told us things that he wouldn't even say on the podcast.
And I was just at a wedding, and my aunt knows Brace Belden from when he was a kid. He's my cousin's friend. They grew up together.
Brace is the GOAT.
Brace is, if you're not familiar, Brace
which you
Belden
are,
is
you have
a
to be familiar.
Jewish veteran, sober individual.
Listen to the TrueAnon podcast. It's one of the biggest ones in the country right now.
They're beating us on Patreon for now.
Let me tell you, for now.
I've been looking right in the camera for so much, just right in the lens.
Me and Nate
Guess what? We're one of the 3 most rising podcasts on Patreon.
Yep, according to something I saw.
But also, we're humble. We like to talk about our success in a, I don't know, maybe a gross way. Some people might think, but we are also 3 of the most humble people on the planet, and you'd be shocked at how much we don't talk about. Like, I don't even know some of the successes you guys have until I see it like live on TV, whatever.
Yeah,
like, we never talk about our work at all.
Can I say this though? Yeah, just to show how much I mean this.
You can say whatever you want.
I was just on a meeting, whatever, at work, and I was in a breakout room with some people. We're talking about introducing ourselves, and I know one of the guys, and we're talking about movies, and one of the guys is like, but Eric, by the way, he's a stand-up comedian. And the other guys literally, I see their jaws drop like this. They start talking to me so differently off the bat. I'm like, yeah, I just do it for fun. And the guy Nelson's like, no, he's really he does it. And I'm like, yeah, well, I pull up my phone, pull up my Twitter, 56,000.
You need to stop doing that, Eric.
I pull up my. They're like, can I see your
Eric goes
Instagram?
up to people on the street
12,000 followers
with his phone out, and he just shows it to like the sweet green fucking cashier. And they're just like, what? Like, just pay for, you're about to do the Apple Pay, and you pull it up, and you're like, look.
Yeah, you'll be pulling people over. You use it like a cop badge. You're like pulling people over.
15,000 followers.
I went to Sweet Green today, and the guy was like, what other toppings? I was like, cherry tomatoes, man. He's like, that's going to be extra. Hey, man, look at my TikTok. 14,000.
I'll tweet
and I barely post.
Yeah.
And then he was like, oh, fuck. He pulled out special vegetables nobody else gets.
No one ever heard of.
Aged cheeses that only...
Do you guys feel like you could get to 1 million if gun to your head?
Of course.
Gun to your head, if you had to get to 1 million followers in 30 days, what would you do?
I would do some violent shit that
Yep.
It was very entertaining.
You would have to do it you just have to launch something crazy. First I would do like a Shkreli thing to just get in the zeitgeist real quick. What's up, y'all? I'm officially making Advil like $17,000 a pop. And then right after that, I'm putting out like an American Ninja Warrior challenge where I like get, just making like what Mr. Beast thinks he is. I would be like the Mr. Beast of every like provocative internet activity genre all at once starting tomorrow and then every day for the rest of my life. Oh, yeah. Pretty good idea. Nate, what would you do, man?
I think I would start an account called No Limbs Left. And each video would be a different limb or a different finger I'm cutting off, and it would be like,
Jesus
oh my God, he's
Christ.
only got like a little bit left.
You're not, but you're gonna get kicked off all platforms.
Well, I would. Yeah. Damn, I didn't even think about that.
Damn. That would be
Right,
so
you're right.
sad.
Kill
I
yourself.
watch you mutilate
I would not on
yourself.
Rumble.
Yeah.
You think I can do that on Rumble?
You don't got 30 limbs. Oh, that's true. Rumble could be good for
Rumble. You can do anything.
the BME Pain Olympics 2023.
Who owns it? The
Steve.
Nelk boys.
Oh yeah,
Nelk.
Steven do it.
See, he supports creators.
He really does.
And people don't respect creators like they used to.
God's the original creator. On the first day he created whatever.
I want to build a bridge to conservatives so badly and be the first to cross it with give them the white flag to put in the air. I say, put this in the air right now because we got you.
The problem is, Eric, you can't build a bridge to something that's not even a landmass because it has no foundation. So you'd essentially be building a bridge into dead water with conservatives.
No.
That's what I'm saying, because I've tried.
See, that's the way
I've
most
tried.
of America thinks, and
Yeah,
that's the
right.
fucking problem.
No, I've
dude.
tried.
You
trust me.
are not helping, man.
You
Get that finger
think
away
that
from me,
you
bitch.
are like conservatives, fuck off, like
Yeah.
you suck, like that kind of shit. That's not
Yeah,
how
they
we're
do,
gonna
man.
We're
Well, listen.
No.
When I see somebody who says they're a Democrat, I say, we just became best friends, right? When I see
No,
someone who's a
man.
conservative, I go, let me guess. You don't even
Yeah.
toast
That's
your
not how we solve this
sandwiches.
shit. That's really not, because it's more complex.
Some of
so?
my best friends are violent, radical conservatives.
Some of the best guys I know are
They are, and
the
you want to
most-
talk.
Yeah, you be chilling
but you don't
with-
know
are the
anything
most
about
you know,
them.
you be chilling
xenophobic
with
guys
Richard.
that I know are
I
some
saw
of the best
y'all be
hang.
hitting up the fucking laser tag with Richard Spencer every night trying to.
No. I
No.
don't chill with Richard Spencer or
No.
any of those guys anymore. But here's what I do.
And I'd like to disavow
Anymore.
them right
I
now.
take the whip, the Mazda 3. I fill it with a hella whatever Michelob Ultras. I cruise on down.
You fill your gas tank with Michelob Ultra?
No, I fill the back of the car up with a bunch of cases of beer and some white bread, and I go down to the factories near Philadelphia, and I just post out right outside, or right in that whistle blows, and they get off work, and I have a little
What
sign
is
that.
the 1920s? Like,
No. And I have a little sign, and I'm cracking open the beers, and I have a sign that says, "Wanna come chill?" And I've met so many
pathetic.
amazing men that way. We commune and do amazing things together that you can't imagine. And these are good people that been forgotten by the system.
And you're not lying right now to try to win over the blue collar workers?
no.
I don't lie. I never lied in my life.
But a lot of people think that we are hanging out with like these top echelon comedians.
No. And we do. Oh, well, we get the
do.
invites.
We do. Don't get it
Sure.
twisted. We do.
We do business.
But most of the time,
But-
we're hanging out with the salts of the earth,
Earth salt.
or like these, like
Salt is of the earth. All salt is from the earth.
right,
What salt is not from the earth?
right. That's a good point. But we because you see how tapped in we are to the kind of zeitgeist, and the reason and why a lot of other people in our profession, they drift farther and farther away, and they're in their own little bubbles until they lose their minds and they lose touch with reality, which is kind of happening to Eric right now. But
it's not happening to me.
For me and Jack, we're hanging out with the blue collar folks, the people that are middle class.
I
and we
just
are
told
so
you that I
tapped
chill with
into-
middle collar.
I
blue
lied.
collar.
Lying, dude.
You
No.
lied
And
and you
enough
told
with the
us a
lies.
story. You told us a story about how you lure them. You hold their poverty over their head
kidnap
with slices
them.
of white bread.
You have a sign.
That's
to
not
come out,
peace.
You get them fucked up out of their
Hey,
minds. And,
I know a guy that can't close his
here's
hands.
some white bread and beer. You want to hang out with me, middle class fucking poor? That's what you do with a sign. You're disgusting, Eric. And that's fucked
no,
up.
You're
no.
trapping
But
people.
I
You're a
know
sex
more
trafficker
poor
for
people
friendship.
combined than you guys have ever
Yeah,
even met
because you know
combined.
one rich guy that equals 100,000 poor people. That's
Look
'cause you're
at
by
Eric
far-
right now, backed into a corner.
Backed into
No,
a corner. You've
he's
been
backed into
once
a corner
again.
now, literally.
We said we wouldn't do
Look
it
at the
to
way
him.
he behaves too.
You want to start talking about audiobooks next?
You don't
right?
realize there's
Fuck.
no freedom like the freedom of being constantly underestimated.
You're talking about
we
he
said
who
that
make-
before. I'm saying it again.
That
Don't
is
fuck
true.
with me like this.
That's true. Enough with the hate. Enough with the messages to Eric. He's fed up with this. It's affecting him mentally.
He's gonna be.
I want to say
sober.
this: if you make less than $40,000 a year, hit my line right now because we are going fucking out to the dive bars. We are going out fucking. I'll go slumming with you. We're going crazy. And I don't go to Soho House anymore. To all the celebrities that keep inviting me to Soho House across the world, I don't go there anymore. So stop asking me, because I hang with the real salty people, salt of the earth people,
salted people.
Well, you bring up a good point, Eric.
I always
Being under. Did you say I always do?
Yeah.
I always do.
Wait, what is my good point?
Being underestimated. And I think there are a lot of people out there that underestimate us and what we have planned and what we have going on.
Have we talked about this before?
Never. We've never repeated one single subject on this podcast, and that's why people like it.
I just got the thought that we're a jar. You know those jars where you guess the jelly beans?
Right.
Yeah.
And you could underestimate those.
Yeah.
Right.
And I had that thought, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll talk about how we're jelly beans. And then I thought, have we talked about this before?
We've never discussed anything twice on this podcast
all right,
ever.
so-
And that's what most of the comments are. They never repeat topics. It's crazy. They're always coming out with new information.
Right.
Which is that's kind of what people know us for, is having new and original ideas all the time. We have an endless flow, and it's nothing for us to come up with.
You can't
new.
put us into niches.
Nope.
Right.
We're not a niche
because
style anything.
when you put every niche together, what you get is a net of web of informative areas, and we go to everything. So.
And we're about to go from there's this funny term that people, micro celebrity.
Yeah.
And it's funny how they play with us. They play with our minds, thinking, hell, you're a micro celebrity. You're just in a niche.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Some people have to start somewhere. And this is about to go into macro mode very soon.
And by the way, micro's good a lot of the times, right? You don't always want to indulge too much on it.
Mm-hmm.
Say it again.
Micro penis.
That's not what I'm discussing.
We don't talk about
sorry.
sexual stuff on this podcast.
Yeah, we don't discuss
Sorry
that.
about
Did
that.
you even? Why'd you bring that?
I'll tell you. We'll edit
Now I'm
that
gonna have to
out.
cut that out. What time is it? 17. Oh, we got 2 clips.
Wait, continue, Jack, because I'm very interested.
Well, I don't remember. Nate pissed me off because he started talking about micro peni.
Okay, well, I'll
about
say
that.
this. How many times I've been recognized on the street? Too many
Today,
to count.
or
That's what I'm going to say. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, because here's what's happening.
Yeah.
I'm walking down what they call Michigan Ave in Chicago.
Illinois.
Right out here. I wish you guys could see the view because it's stunning. And I'm walking down, my friend, I'm asking him about his life. What's going on with you, man? What's new? You know, I'm not saying anything about all the wins that I've received recently. And what happens? I can feel it. This guy sees me from across the street. He comes up. He's with his family or his friends. And he says, aren't you that guy? Aren't you that comedian from the internet? Didn't remember my name.
And you got mad about that.
No, I didn't get mad because I don't get. Listen, I've forgotten Leonardo DiCaprio's name, but I know his face and I know what his work means to me. Okay.
Right.
But no, just to say, I just wanted to say I got recognized on the
Hey
street
man,
yesterday.
my name's Eric fucking Rahill.
Yeah. I'm gonna be so mean when I'm fully famous.
Oh, of course.
I mean, if
You're gonna be shades on indoors, which Jack, you were saying you wanted to put on sunglasses.
I did want to put on sunglasses because I thought it would make me feel less tired.
tired.
I could never forget anybody's name. If I ever meet somebody one time, 17 years ago.
I remember when I was like maybe 20, I was listening to the Mark Maron podcast, WTF. Mark, we'd love to have you on.
Legend.
What the
Love to
fuck?
have your ass on here.
Legend alert.
But I was
Boner
listening to someone
alert.
who was
Boner
interviewing
alert.
he was interviewing like Keith Richards, or maybe that's not the example.
Who's that?
someone.
Keith Richards.
Keith Richards? Dude.
You
Who's
don't
Keith
know-
Richards?
He's
Who's
like,
Keith Richards?
You don't know
Bruh.
Led Zeppelin?
Oh, really?
No,
Led
he's not.
Zeppelin. Keith Richards, the lead singer of Led Zeppelin,
I
dog.
don't like when you guys play with me about American culture.
We play, yeah. You don't. Well,
We're
Jack
fucking
might have
with
have grown up in Siberia.
I like fucking with you, Jack.
I feel like I went to an international school sometimes in the 80s or something. What's up?
What do you mean?
Just like my knowledge.
Oh, you have a
My-
different source of knowledge. You definitely had a different textbook than everybody
I didn't have a
else.
textbook.
Yeah,
Excuse
you
me?
did.
We didn't have textbooks.
Well, maybe that's
Oh,
why
you had those
think
early
the way you do.
iPads.
What were you guys talking about?
Let me say this.
Oh,
I was
you know
saying I was
what?
listening to an interview. Okay,
Wait,
on
what,
Mark
Jack?
Maron.
Hold up.
Really?
Okay,
really,
sorry,
really?
sorry.
My brain is on a lag. Go. Sorry.
Go ahead. Sorry, Mr. Rahill. Please proceed.
No, this is actually the most boring thing to bring up on the planet, but I'll just say it. I remember him talking to someone in an interview, and they're like, "I have no memory of that." Or they're looking at a picture, and the guy was like, "I have no idea who those people in the photo are."
What are you talking about?
I just couldn't believe at 20, when I was 20, that you couldn't remember something or somebody.
Yes.
And now that I'm a little bit older, 30, I'm forgetting everything. I've definitely seen myself in a picture with someone I don't know who that is. All these people that, like, if I look at my class photos from like 5th grade, whatever, I'm starting to forget.
Yes,
people exist.
that's scary.
But you know what's
like dropping out the memory.
Yes.
What's funny is, and this is, I'm gonna try not to cry when I say this, but you never forget music. Isn't that funny?
Wow.
You can forget somebody, people, a place, or thing, but you will never forget music.
My grandma had Alzheimer's, right?
Okay.
And she was losing her memory very badly towards the end. And you know that you've seen a million YouTube videos, I'm sure, where it's someone's so far gone from dementia or Alzheimer's, one of these horrible diseases.
So many.
Yeah,
YouTube
that's all I
videos.
look at.
Oh,
on
yeah,
YouTube.
you were joking. No, but you have, because they play the big band music from their youth or whatever, and all of a sudden they kind of come back for a minute and they're singing the songs,
Right.
Or like these like old piano teachers who are unable to dress themselves can play like crazy pieces on the piano.
Yeah.
Because it's guess what? It's using a different part of the brain.
You know that I
And part's
brainwashed
not touched.
myself.
How?
I auditorially brainwashed myself to travel through space and time. You didn't know this about me?
Nate does that every day by meditating, but what do you mean?
What I do is, I've been doing this since I was a teenager. If I go somewhere and I want to be able to teleport there anytime, what I do is, let's say I'm on a vacation, right, and I'm on the beach, and I'm going for 4 days. So sorry about that.
Sorry,
It's got
turn
a
off your
business
fucking
message. Just a
computer.
business. It's business.
Good Lord.
What I do is, if I'm going to be somewhere for 4 days, I listen to the same song over and over and over again the whole time I'm there. And then whenever I want to go back, I play that song and I close my eyes. And I have playlists all throughout my hard drives for almost every day of my life since I was 16 or 17, where I can...
I kind of have a similar thing. I make a different playlist every month of the year. And
because
then I
you
go
know what
back
time
and I
travel
say,
is? Because it
yes,
brings you back.
Absolutely.
Because time travel, there's no such thing as time. Time is defined by a set of parameters and sequences for which everything existed in that moment, which we call a moment, but it's just a set of variables, right? Let's say all of human existence is a graph, okay? Do you follow me?
I cannot believe you
There's
just pulled off
A through...
I know. Pauly Shore.
No.
You don't know Pauly Shore?
Is that the owner of a comedy club?
That's the son of
Almost.
the
You know who that
Mitzi
is.
Shore.
Well,
Let's see.
can I get points or something?
McFadden.
If I get one right, can I get a point?
Matthew
Sure.
McFadden.
No, that's too tough.
You do know him though.
Personally?
Oh, wait,
Matthew
maybe you're not.
McFadden.
You're not
that's
watching
a-
Succession, right?
Oh yeah. Shout out
Oh,
Succession.
shout out Succession.
If anyone in this-
Congrats, Mazel to Succession. Once again, you're doing it again. All right, I need to change my tone a little bit. I don't like the vibe I'm giving off this episode.
What vibe do you want to give off?
Your vibe has been so
Volatile.
Like, literally the
Volatile.
whole time. I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking by this.
Yeah.
We've been doing this podcast, and I'm trying to keep it, fun, light, and have some.
Right.
And I'm saying, Eric, your vibe has been so fucking off the whole time, and I can't even do this any longer, dude. Your vibe is so fucking off, dude, and it's been hurting the whole entire podcast.
Well, Nate, what? I know you're...
And I'm locked into Jack. Like, I'm like, okay, we're like talking.
Right.
Me and Jack
Oh,
are
right, let's
ping-ponging.
build. Let's build together, right?
And then Eric comes in, fucking, what the fuck?
I'm going through things that you guys could not even imagine.
Eric, you know this podcast
My
isn't a
life.
competition, man.
I know it is. I was the first to say that when I wrote the 10 Commandments of the podcast day
That
one,
was
and I
so
wrote
weird.
and I
Yeah.
fucking scrawled them out for
And
you in
when
old
you said,
font.
look what you scratched them in your own back with a little thumbtack thingy.
I don't want to get
You're a
competitive with
masochist.
you guys. I am
Mentally
not. I am a
masochism.
wait. What is? I'm a sadomasochist.
What's that?
Self harm or self.
Self-harm.
I don't know what it means, but I
Imagine
am
that.
that. Wait, no, sadomasochist.
I don't know what that is.
Potato.
I
It's
don't
something.
know. I don't
You
answer
kind of
the
get
chief.
where the general, the vibe of what that is in.
You know what I would
Okay,
love
Jack
to do?
Martin Van Buren.
That's a president of the United States. I'll tell you what.
How do you know who that is?
Because I can name every country and every capital, but I don't know what secession is. But I'll tell
What
you
about this Kurt Van Houten?
I don't even know who that is.
You know who Kurt Van Houten
Is that Martin Van Buren's alter ego?
That's Milhouse's
Twitter account?
dad. Simpsons.
All right, never seen it.
So that's a fake person, a fake character.
To you.
But the characters
Very real to the creators, to
All right,
Matt
here's the
Groening,
thing.
the animation goat.
Shout out to Matt
People
Groening.
always say it's Seth
Shout out to
MacFarlane.
making The Simpsons, dog.
Matt, all right, moving on. We didn't cut anything.
Okay, I have an idea. This
You
is
have
an
an
exercise, Eric, for your behavior.
Okay.
Nate and Eric, well, once Nate comes back,
Right back.
Nate and Eric, you two have a conversation,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to make like a buzzer type of sound, like just have a nice podcast, and anytime, Eric, you start getting combative, I'm going to try and course correct.
I mean, I can be not combative for years.
Eh.
Okay.
It's what it is just there's micro type of things. Like you think you're not being combative,
Yeah.
but the look in your eyes and your body posture is being combative.
You want me to be a little more open? Hey, man.
Yeah. Oh, that's that one.
Now
Where
we're
is
on.
this
it's,
guy been?
it's so good to see you, man.
That's
Dude, it's so
nicer.
good being back in Chicago, seeing all the little places. It's interesting because some of the restaurants that I used to like to go to have closed.
This is nice.
Yeah.
See, this is what we've all been wanting. This is what your
I think-
parents want from you.
Yeah.
This is what your spouse wants from you.
Yeah.
You are just I mean, this is you need to put on more masks, Eric.
Let's have a moment
I
of good
always
behavior.
do. Okay,
Everybody-
let's do it.
All right, everybody, best behavior starting right now.
So I just
I want to give a shout
My
out
finger
to
hurt.
all the restaurants that were badly affected by COVID. A lot of y'all didn't make it. We wanted to help y'all. We didn't have the money to do it. A lot of people went through a hard time. It wasn't just you, but we feel for you and we love you guys. We wish we could have all your dishes back. But a lot of these restaurants ain't ever
And you've
coming
got
back.
this.
And you got
Don't
this.
let this be a setback
Yeah,
because,
yeah.
as we say on this podcast, say it together, a setback is a
Setback
setup for a
for a
comeback.
comeback.
That's
Comeback,
for sure. And guess
y'all.
what? 2025, you're coming back strong.
Can
You
I
used
say-
to have a falafel truck, now you're gonna have a whole lot more falafel. What's that, Nate?
and I can't really say something.
Yeah.
Shout out to the teachers out there in the teachers
Oh,
unions.
we like teachers.
Shout them out.
We like teachers and we
Let's
think they
name-
should be paid more.
Name every teacher you've ever
To a
had.
certain extent.
Mrs. Penoyer, Mrs. Wilson,
Mrs. Get this, Mrs. Varone, my mother.
Oh,
teacher.
All right, get this,
my.
Mr. Varone, Mr. Rahill, my
Oh, wait.
current teachers in life. Thank you guys both for the stuff that you guys tell me.
Mrs. Brackett, Mrs. Dixon, Mrs. Dreon, Mrs. Casper,
Holy
Mrs.
shit.
Goheen,
Why do you look up like
Mrs.
that?
Thompson,
You have to act
Mrs.
he
Blackmer,
Hey yo,
Mrs. You can't believe I got all those teachers right. I think a few of those.
What do you
are
mean,
dead
right?
now?
you got those teachers right.
Yeah.
All
Like
right.
their names
So
right.
what we just displayed is some good behavior.
Mrs. Goheen was my 4th grade teacher. She was my
a
teacher
nice
during
name.
9/11. And when a 9/11 happened,
A
she
9/11.
wheeled in the TV so we could watch some of the news. And she said to our class, she said, "This is the beginning of the end." The day that 9/11 happened, she was going off about how this has all been foretold in the book of Revelations. And we should see this actually as something to, not to celebrate the deaths
She
of the
said that in
Americans.
class?
Yeah, but she basically said, like, this is an indicator of the rapture coming.
Yep, I can see that.
When 9/11 happened, there was a kid in my class who was like, "Damn, this shit's hilarious!" And then they said, I forget the guy's name. They were like, "Get out of the class!" Like immediately, like it was.
Dude, I was
there's
at the
always that
dentist.
one.
You were at the dentist?
I was at the dentist when 9/11 happened. Skipped school, get my teeth cleaned.
Damn.
I only got the left side cleaned that day. Tagged me out.
My mom woke me up that morning and was so sad. It's crying woke me up. And we lived on the West Coast, so this was, whatever, a little bit later. And I thought my Nana had died or something horrible.
Oh,
And then literally when I found out, then it was just
you're like, what?
thousands of people I'd never met. I was like, thank God. Like, I just
Yeah.
felt such relief.
Oh, wow.
And then I felt so bad for feeling that relief.
That's very
and
interesting.
then I continued the cycle of guilt to this
That's
day.
a very interesting human emotional ride you went on, because it's like this.
Yeah.
Imagine if somebody had, like, showed you a picture of your house on fire, and then they said, "Just kidding," and then all of a sudden somebody gives you a burger, and then they lift up the bun and there's fucking like a bug in it, and then they like they turn you around and there's like the hottest girl you've ever seen, and then
wow, I
she
like
takes a
that.
gun out, and then she fucking eats the gun. It's a cake, and then she gives you a slice, and then
Your mind. Nobody's thinking like this, man.
Really? Because
Yeah,
I've heard
man.
one or two people say that exact scenario to me today, just walking around.
Probably us.
Yeah, probably.
Oh man.
What were we talking about? Literally.
9/11.
Oh yeah, my dad just told me
requested
about 9/11.
topic from the listeners.
What'd your dad say?
It was this day where 2 planes came that got hijacked and they got.
Can I say that when around the invasion of Iraq, I was my parents are lifelong Republicans, and this passes down to the children. So I was like, oh, I'm a Republican. Like I identify as a right wing, little kid. I had no idea what I was talking about, but I was like, go George Bush, let's go George W. Bush. And I was like, when he fucking was like, we're going to war with Iraq, I was like, Team Bush, like let's go,
Yeah,
let's get
him.
let's fucking knock out Saddam Hussein. Like I was so pro war as a 12-year-old. It was shocking.
How long did that last?
And then I watched a documentary called I think it was called Zeitgeist.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched that, and that fucking blew my fucking mind. It was all about it was just like, we're about to shatter every fabric of reality for you. It's like, Jesus Christ, religion, all of that is based on this one character from 20,000 years ago, and religion.
Wait, what?
Done.
Wait,
Bank
what?
system.
Don't say this to me right now. Don't say this to me right now.
Utopia, what we can achieve. The Venus Project.
No.
Stop
What's
it,
that?
dude.
What is that?
Stop
Dharma
that.
Initiative?
Future
Right.
reality where everybody
Matthew
lives on a
Fox.
train, and basically there's plants everywhere.
Not Penny's boat.
Well, I'll tell you
I don't know
what.
what that
I
is.
was such a loser, a capital L loser, where I was chilling with my friend Sam Walters.
Shout
who was
out
kind of
Sam
like
Walters.
he was like a skater, you know what I mean? He liked airsoft. He liked whatever, punk music, Christian punk.
I got shot in the neck with an airsoft gun for a Cinnabon once.
I shot him in the neck with an airsoft one time, and he cried, and I felt.
I
really
got
bad.
shot point blank with a airsoft gun. Like a kid, one of my friends was put a gun to my head and went.
Yeah.
And I was like,
That
Dude, I
could be
traded-
embedded in your skin.
I was like, dude,
I
you
love
could have
airsoft
like
guns.
killed me, dude. Like
I traded one of my skateboards for an airsoft gun. I kept it under my bed.
Okay, so but I was such a that's amazing. I want to say that's amazing, but I want to get back to why I was a loser. We are sitting downstairs in Sam's dad's office, right? And we're sitting on the computer, and Sam's like, "Dude, we should make a website."
Okay.
Whoa.
So we make a website,
Just for fun.
and we called it jetpuff.com, and we were gonna make it like an E-Bombs World type of website where we put like
It's a good
You
name.
were an early
prototypical
mogul.
proto memes, whatever.
Jet Puff.
Jetpuff.com.
Isn't that a food app?
Puff.
Jet
Puff.com,
Jet Puff.
I think.
Wait, I
think
feel like
Puff.
Jet Puffs are marshmallows.
I'd eat that.
Because the logo was like a skateboarding marshmallow.
Oh, that's
But
cool.
I remember we were making little posts on it, and he posted one without my consent that was like making George Bush look like a monkey and calling George Bush, like talking about flushing George Bush down the toilet, whatever.
I can't
And I
flush a
still have
monkey down
my
the toilet.
email to him where I said like, hey dude, like not cool about the George Bush thing. Like it made me laugh, but like I think we should take it down because some people might be offended. Like I was so like a shill for
Interesting.
That is
George Bush, and he took it down.
I kind of miss George W. Bush. That
Good-
type of just
good guy,
just,
good
He
guy.
was so dumb, and
That's what
like,
they want. That's the narration they want you
think
to
he
believe.
was smart as hell?
I think you
He's
have to be
not.
a certain level of smart to, you know what I mean?
Sometimes I feel like he ruined the whole world.
Yeah, I think he did.
But we
But-
need
but
to
so
go
did-
get back to presidents that. Well, I guess now that I think about it, I just thought
Did Colin
There-
Powell die?
Colin?
Colin Powell.
Colin Powell.
I think it's Colin.
His friends called him Colin, dude.
You're
His name was
all right.
I don't
his name
think
was
he-
Colin.
Yeah. Colin Powell.
Does he know?
You would've made
what
fun
the
of his
Colin-
ass?
Yeah, Colin dead.
Colin.
We died. High.
When you get to heaven, the
Yeah.
amount of people who are gonna be ready to fucking fuck you up
You're gonna
is
get your ass
crazy.
fucked.
I
fucking
never
whooped in
ever
heaven.
will, man.
You are gonna get
I won't.
You're gonna be in heaven, but it's gonna feel like hell.
too much
the
of
way you've treated this
heaven.
existence on this
I
plane.
treated this existence like a kid in a playground.
Wow.
Generous child in a
The
playground.
opening line to a movie.
Do you know how they say that this reality, this life, is just a test for the next one?
Well,
that's
you're
what-
supposed to learn a lesson on this. And I feel
No.
like Eric, sometimes it feels like you're getting all of these opportunities to learn lessons, but you don't learn anything, and you just keep on going back and back and back. And the universe is giving you all these opportunities to grow and become change and become a different person, but you are just, there's something in you that just says, I don't want to learn ever again. I want to be stagnant. And
don't put words in my mouth.
Well, hold on a second. man. Well, hold on. Just listen to him, even if you disagree, because what is it that has happened between you and learning that has made you so averse to learning? Is it something in schooling?
You must not know me. You must not know me if you think I don't make an effort to learn.
By the way, somebody
day.
clip that and make it a whole fucking song. That's a
you must
example.
not know me.
You must not. But I want to say this. Listen, because okay, you don't think I learned? Well, look at what I learned.
Nothing.
Oh no, I have something. You were talking about religion and like saying that this life is a test for the next existence, whatever. You realize that this thought pattern, this idea that there's heaven and that you have to act right and obey the law and be a good citizen in order to make it to heaven and follow all these arbitrary rules. You realize who made those rules up, right?
Who, man?
It wasn't God. It wasn't Jesus. It was the feudal landlords in feudalist medieval times who wanted to keep their peasants under rule, who wanted to give them a more spiritual reason for behaving and following the rules, because if they acted out of line, it wouldn't be just the landowners to punish them, it would be God. And so religion has been formed as a way of keeping the proletariat down. And there's a reason that the most oppressed nations in the world are the most religious. And there's a root at there's some evil at the root of America. And guess what it is? It's religion. Everybody should be atheist, and nobody.
I got you.
Oh, all right.
Don't
ever
disrespect me with whatever you were saying.
Don't ever talk shit about religion again.
Don't ever talk shit
People
about
get
religion.
a lot of shit out of that, man.
You ever gotten Rick
That's
Roll
what
to
they
your face
claim.
like that?
Rick
Yeah.
Roll again?
I'll hit you with the
Man,
acapella
Rick
roll
Roll.
sometimes. A waiter comes up to me, hey, can I get you anything? Have you been here before? Never gonna give you up. And then I just walk out.
He drops
I hit
all
him with the
hot
IRL
espresso.
Rick Roll. I hit him with the Rick Reel. I hit him with the real roll.
Can I say this? One time I applied to an internship when I was in college,
Nice.
and I thought I was so genius for this. The cover letter for the internship was a QR code, and I said I'm not gonna write a cover letter. It's a QR code, and guess what it went to? The Rick Roll video.
And you got the
And guess
job.
what? I did not get the job.
But
Oh
you Rick rolled
my.
somebody out there.
I did.
Somebody.
Somebody had a good day, I think, or was just really confused.
Rick Astley. If he had any
Shout out
idea
Rick
he was going
Roll.
to be the
Shout out to
best
Richard.
meme of all time when he made that.
Richard A. Lee. Shout out.
But you were talking about medieval times.
You were talking about. Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
And that made me think about like past lives. And
Fake.
what? Excuse me, Eric. Eric, you have such an adverse
We've talked about this on
mentality
the podcast before.
for the spiritual,
because
for
Eric's the first-
astrology. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, I just like facts. I like
No,
hard science. Well,
Listen.
guess what? There's a lot of mystic, ancient mystery school knowledge and geometry.
That's the
that you
hardest
need to-
science. Is the science that's hard to
Right.
scientifically observe.
Listen. I made myself believe when I was 14 that I was in such direct communication with Jesus that he was sending chills down my spine and making my skin all goosebumpy. That's how religious I was. And I told my mom, and she was like, that means that you have a gift, Eric.
You're anointed.
You have a spiritual
I
gift.
got smacked in the back of my head during my bar mitzvah because they said, "What do you want to do after your bar mitzvah?" And I said, "I want to go get Subway. I want to get a meatball sub."
Wow.
That's their law, so they can't appreciate how blunt you are and how real you are for
well,
that.
you became a man. Then,
But
right?
wait,
You're
yeah.
stating what you need.
So you're talking about past lives. What do you want to talk about past lives about?
Well, I was just saying, like, what do you think all of us were in a past life? Like, what is
Interesting.
a trajectory of our
How far
past
back?
lives and how we've like became what we are now? You know, like.
I need a little more information before I go on this.
Okay,
I
well,
can
I'll
say
get-
who historically you guys were for sure.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right, Jack, you were basically.
For some reason, I'm getting like lonely fisherman.
You know, that's what I want to do.
Be a fisherman?
Yeah, because fishing is basically like gambling that doesn't cost any money. You just kind of keep throwing it out.
Yeah.
And I could just listen to music or just sing, even just sing and fish.
Yeah.
I think that might have been it. You were just in like your little kind of ancient little boat and in the Mediterranean.
Okay. Yeah.
And getting like tan as fuck.
I'm getting the name Ben comes to mind.
But like
For
nobody
me?
had a name like that
Ben
back then,
singer?
like
No,
in the
Ben-
1200s.
Ben singer?
something Benedict
Ben
or
singer?
something.
Benedict,
What do you...
Benedict Arnold,
James Elvis,
the traitor.
the traitor.
Benedict.
That's who you were, Eric. In a
I
past
was
life.
not Benedict Arnold.
That's a real
You
guy?
you were a dude who fucking like
Oh, yeah.
went to the other side of like immediately like the war, like the Revolutionary War started, and you were like
no,
just
Eric.
scooted over to the other.
You're that motherfucker from the movie 300 with a couple backs on his back who's crawling around selling secrets to the fucking Xerxes and all that. Spying on top of a cliff.
Oh.
And Nate, you're Xerxes. I feel like you're like...
Yeah,
You know what I
Getting,
mean?
Like sucked up in a tent,
You're
like
the-
ancient style, with having these crazy ass orgies.
I
with
do feel like sucking is just a part of your existence.
I was
Like, I
getting
feel like you probably got the human race's first ever blowjob, probably.
I think I was the first person to get sucked in a past life, like to figure out that was like an option. Like,
it wasn't
damn,
a
like wait, I
person-
know we're
yeah.
all hitting it from the back and shit, but what if we put that? What if we put that mouth on it?
They put you on some type of Roman coin, like your
Yeah,
face
yeah,
on there because it was so.
I
like-
was glorified. They were like, "Damn, I just tried that shit. Isn't it good? Like, dude, you had no idea you could suck up on
George
it like
Suckington.
Oh, I want to say this about ancient coins. You know, you can buy
that."
these
We've
coins.
been waiting for this, by the way.
You know, Layla has an ancient
started,
coin.
You were like, I want to talk about.
Sometimes
ancient
she wears it
coins.
around her neck. Her mom got it in a necklace, and the coin's from like, I don't know, 200, whatever.
Get that
the
coin.
year. And I'm like, that coin, it's too old to be wearing.
It's
You
too
don't
old
know
to be
whose
worn.
hands that passed through and how this was acquired. And if you knew that, then maybe 'cause you don't know what that
The
paid for.
blood
By
on
the way,
that.
it could have paid for the
Eric.
assassination of Caesar.
Blood money.
Eric,
And by the way, you know that
Let
in
it
Rome,
go.
the way they didn't say Caesar back then, it sounded more like Kaiser. And interesting, German.
So glad
Wait, I want to say
you're-
something to
Kaiser
historians.
Wilhelm.
said that.
I want to
That's
say something to
incredible.
every museum out there. Dear museums and dear historians and dear anybody, historians, whatever. You know how we look down on hoarders for hoarding things?
I hate
Mhm.
orders.
Historians, museums, we are hoarding human relics and history. And what we're doing is we're holding on to the negative energy of everything, every trauma that has come before us. Oh, Eric,
I'm
you
sinking in the
what's
couch.
happening, man?
I'm sinking
Okay.
in the couch.
All right. And I just want to say it's time to clean it up. It's time to clean up the earth. It's time to clean up humanity and roast these musicians. Get rid of all the historical cobblestone roads and let's start getting some magnets out there.
You know what? I think this just reminded me. I think in a past life, I was one of those people that like burned down like what would have been like another pyramid, like that we would look back and it would be like like one of the most magnificent
On purpose? Just like you got
things.
something-
it was
something
like
came over you
the
one day?
one, like I bet you a past life of mine was like some twisted soldier that like blew up Atlantis, like the whole fucking like we would have known exactly
Yeah.
where it was. And
You were
I
one of
feel
the
like-
British soldiers that was shooting the nose off the Sphinx.
yes,
Hey
Yeah,
guys,
yeah,
get
yeah.
over here, right?
Check this shit out.
I feel like a past life of you, Nate, is you're like looking at like Michelangelo or something like the Sistine Chapel, and you're just kind of looking at it going like, "Fuck, that is a good ass idea."
Damn, why didn't I think of that?
Yeah.
Nate,
like
you have such a
something like that.
historical body.
You know what? I
Like
bet you. I could see you being the first ever serial killer.
Oh,
I was
going around
gonna
like,
say, I was like,
Like,
okay.
did y'all know you could kill more than one person?
Yeah, did you
Like,
know
nobody
you
ever
could
knew
go fucking
that?
on around? Yeah.
Look at I just killed like 3.
Wait,
Like,
What are we
I
gonna do
thought
about?
you-
We gotta
know
do
who
something
came-
about this.
I thought you could only murder one person.
Put me in jail. Or
You know who
something.
came to mind immediately right when I looked at Nate's ass and I imagined a top hat on him is the
yes.
Chicago Devil, H.H. Holmes.
Really? I legit.
Do
you
don't
guys know about
anything
H.H. Holmes?
these-
You don't
these
know-
killers.
you
I
don't-
don't look up this shit. You're so
Let me
obsessed with deaths
fucking
and murders.
tell you about
I hate-
H.H. Holmes.
I hate this world's obsession.
Sorry.
Another text message. So obsessed with true crime and murderers, like serial killers.
It says something
it
about
baffles
the-
me because
I know,
I'm a
I
person
know.
that's not interested in that at all. Like,
You know why?
Do not want to know a fucking
That sounds like something a
goddamn
serial
thing
killer would say.
about a serial killer. I don't even want to know about it because I like to do my
Yeah,
own
sure,
type of
man,
shit. I don't want to be
sure.
influenced by other stuff. You know, it's like how artists don't want to look at
Right.
other art. You know, it's like I don't want to look at other serial killers because I don't want to be in. I want to be so original with the way I'm killing
Right.
people. You know.
Well, it says to me that people are sheltered. You know, it's like somebody who hasn't seen real violence and real murder. They get some sort of thrill about it. Nothing, no PTSD, nothing comes up when they're looking at these crimes. They think it's just entertainment. Oh, imagine. Oh, there's this morbid fascination and fetishization. I think I said a word wrong.
No, you didn't.
All right, with you know, violent. How's the other side live? These crazy individuals.
Mhm.
But when you're people like us who've seen it firsthand, secondhand,
Right.
third hand, fourth hand,
Yeah.
you
Read about it.
heard somebody reading about
Seen
it,
in a movie.
right? Seen it in a movie. You start to become. It starts to just make you sick.
These people are so desensitized to with pornography, the amount of
Yep.
pornography that we are
Let's
addicted
talk about it.
to in this
Don't
fucking
watch
country.
it. Never
Let's
ever
talk
have
about it.
watched that.
And what you need to do is turn
Mm-mm.
off the pornography
Turn the computer off.
and stop jacking off all the fucking time because it's ruining your life. And if
No,
you
no.
stop doing it
So pathetic.
and you've just filled up your sack with that semen, you'd be astonished with the shit that you could
You would be
create
Sonic the
and
Hedgehog in the
businesses
on
that
Wall
you would be
Street.
forming.
We do got to move on. There's a couple more topics. TikTok might get banned.
Nope, I got to go back. Wait,
Oh,
can I say something about nutting?
Please.
Well, I just got a
Please
tag.
do.
I just got a tag. Maybe I'll save it for the next time we talk about it. Instead of no nut November,
Oh.
no nut never. No nut never ever.
Never, 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 never,
ever nut.
ever nut. Do not nut.
Yo, let me get
Let me
get a bacon,
let
egg,
me
and
get a
cheese,
nut.
and let me get a bacon, egg, and cheese, and never ever nut ever again.
Yo,
Yo,
Ak, give me a bacon, egg, and cheese, and let me nut on that bitch after. You give it back to me.
Wait, yo, let me get a
Put
bacon.
it back in the fucking, put it back in that deep fryer.
You know that there's probably
Yo.
the people in the old times probably did such crazy experiments with nut.
With nutting around and
Chemical
shit. But I
nut.
mean, yeah,
like
they,
crazy-
yeah,
yeah,
of
they
Air
course.
probably had
conditioning,
all
trying to
type of
figure out
vats of
AC.
old jars of nut.
Yeah, trying to figure out how to get a
You see
coat.
them vases that they find in the
Oh, I know
off the
about these
shore?
vases. Yeah, of
And
course.
they say,
I know.
"Oh, look at all the paintings." That was a
Yeah.
little nut vase, you know, that they all just were like, "We gotta put this somewhere," and somebody's like putting it up to their head, like, "Oh, look at there," smelling it. Like, you have no idea the amount of ancient ass nuts that got fucking popped off in that fucking vase.
It's like
I would listen to a song
You know how the
called
Romans
Ancient
did
Nut.
it? They were all crowded around one vase for the whole city, and they would just fill it up, nut,
Oh
it was
my
filling up
God.
all the way, and then they
Aqueduct.
take it and then they fucking shatter it up against the wall, and it was all kind of dilapidated and whatever.
Dilapidated?
Dilapidated, a new
Inventing
word.
New words, dude.
Man, you got away with nut. I feel like when nut hits the
When
hits the
nuts
scene,
get-
you just start
well,
popping.
All
Man.
right, all right.
I'm a sexual legend.
We gotta end it on this nut
All right.
conversation, but we love you guys. This is the Patreon. We love you guys. We're sorry this was I'm apologizing for how I acted on this podcast.
Thank you.
This is not normal. I'm going through it right now, but I'm gonna be back even better.
Yeah,
Build back
that's-
better.
I mean,
A setback is a setup for a
something needs to
comeback.
change.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you got to put down the joy and pick up the tactics.
Snap.
That's something that
Wow.
my girlfriend said that I should say. I thought it was a good idea.
Oh, that's
good.
great.
Give a shout out to.
Damn.
Shout out Raleigh.
Shout out Raleigh. That's a good little slogan.
Put down the
We
joy
need
and
a
pick up the
slogan.
tactics sometimes. Oh, we
Yeah,
need a
that was
slogan.
good.
But next, stick around. We might have a slogan.
Stick around, y'all. Peace. Love you.
Well, that concludes another incredible fucking episode of Joy Tactics. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts for being a patron. We don't care about anyone but you all. Until next time. Cheers.